just so many different moves after the Luka trade. First off, your immediate reaction to the trade. What were you doing? Where were you at? And how did you feel after seeing the notification on your phone?
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's Saturday. It's a Saturday night, going into a Sunday morning. I'm laying in bed. I dozed off. Woke up at around 2 a.m. Let me check my phone. I'm like, okay, I got my notification scrolling. I saw an ESPN notification. I said, hold on, let me get my glasses. I'm like, there's no way. And then I said, Luka to the. I said, am I getting pranked? Because I was like, that being the first thing you see off the wake up is insane. I'm like, what is going on? I'm checking the group chat. I'm checking Twitter. I said, what has happened while I went to sleep? I said, this is insane to me. I really couldn't believe the Mavericks did that. Like, I don't see a singular reason why that was something they should do. It was just baffling to me. It was so fake. You couldn't even do that in 2K.
Nah.
You would have to at least give up Austin Reeves and AD to get Luka. But they only gave up AD in the first round pick and Max Christie. What's Nico Harrison, buddy? Good thing you hired that armed security because, if this was any other unhinged city, they would have been on your doorstep with it.
I mean, they kind of alluding to that maybe being a possibility because they said you can't sit in the same section you were before. They saying he not going to be in the same section during the games.
Be in the same section.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even show his face around that city because what he did was one of the worst things we've seen from a Dallas sports team in the history of sports. Even Jerry Jones wouldn't do something like that. And we all know he's terrible. That is insane to me. I genuinely think I don't want to be tinfoil. There has to be some collusion going on. Adam Silver made the call and said, listen, the Raiders is down. People don't care about the All-Star. We need you to trade for Luka. The powers that be forced this trade. I'm staying on that because I cannot think someone would be so stupid enough to make this trade in good faith. Like, I just can't believe it.
New ownership. Don't know much about basketball. It's a possibility that the ownership was just tired of Luka. They looked at him and said, hey, he's out of shape. He's not playing. Why should we invest $360 million to a dude that's always out of shape? There might be something going on internally with Luka and maybe the coaching staff. We don't know, but
there's no
maybe they just looked at it like that. I'm not trying to give them an excuse. I'm not trying to get them out, but in terms of you saying there's collusion going on, there's conspiracy theory going on about what's transpiring, there's some underlying thing that's happening. It's not just surface level. There's more to it than just, oh, he's out of shape. Some of these owners are just dumb.
That is true.
Like, they're really dumb. The Orlando Magic, over 20 years ago, Shaquille O'Neal was on the Orlando Magic. He was a free agent, and the Orlando Magic elected that they don't want to pay him $100 million. They said he's not worth over $100 million. And Jerry West said, okay, we'll give him that money. And he went to the Lakers. Some owners are just dumb. They just don't understand the nature of the NBA, how much value this player has to a team, especially when it's a new ownership. So
then they shouldn't be owning the team, because that is ridiculous. You don't trade a franchise cornerstone like Luka.
No, you don't.
He's supposed to be a Maverick for life.
He should, yeah.
And that is just baffling. I cannot believe they just did.
It's malpractice. I'll say this because initially when the trade happened, I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't comprehend the magnitude of everything because I was going back and forth. I was like, man, on one hand, I love the trade. On the other hand, I was like, man, AD, Max Christie, they were playing so well for us. AD's having one of his best years. Him and LeBron play so well together. So for you to trade away Anthony Davis and bring in Luka Doncic, now we got to figure out how LeBron and Luka play. But after further thinking, after taking another day to assess the situation, I came to the conclusion that this is a home run. This trade should never happen. You do not, like Brian said, you should not give up your franchise guy, a top 3 player in the NBA, entering his prime. He's 25 years old. He can be the best player in the NBA potentially, and you give him up for a 30-plus-year-old Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is an amazing player. He's a top 10 player in the NBA, but he's 30. He's going on 32 years old.
I thought he is 32.
Yeah, well, next, either this month or next month, he's going to turn 32. And then you have Kyrie, who's 32, 33 years old. 2 aging stars. And then you have Klay Thompson. He's definitely not in his prime. Max Christie is great, but I'm not going to say great. He's good for his role. He's not going to be a star. He's going to be a good quality player. But it's Luka. Do people forget that what Luka did last year was magical? Nobody expected the Mavericks to make the finals last year. What he did was unexpected. Not his play on the court, but the fact that he was able to lead that team to the NBA Finals, because we looked at Minnesota, we looked at Denver, maybe even OKC. The Dallas Mavericks was not looked upon as that team to go to the finals. And for him to do that was crazy. You traded that away, and now you expect that Anthony Davis, Max Christie is the difference? They'll make the team even better? They'll put that team back to the NBA Finals? You're out of your damn mind. And that's why a lot of fans are pissed. A lot of fans, have you seen what's been going on in Dallas with the fans? They got coffins. They have like coffins and like a jersey with Luka on the coffin. And they're all like just mourning what happened. It feels like a funeral has been taking place. They've been going to that degree. I've never seen it from Dallas fans before, where they go to that degree. They're that sad about a situation.
25-year-old Kobe.
I know. Oh my God, it'd be even worse. It'd be even worse. And for them to do that is egregious. It reminds me, when I look at an analogy for like an NFL trade, it's like if the Bills traded Josh Allen for Myles Garrett. That's what it reminds me of. Because Myles Garrett is one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, but he's in his 30s. And a quarterback, the value is a lot different compared to a pass rusher. And Josh Allen, as a quarterback, he's in his prime. He's in his like late 20s, about to be in his early 30s. That's the prime years for a quarterback. That's what it reminds me of. It's like you don't make that trade. Yeah, Myles Garrett is great, but Josh Allen, he can be the best player in the NFL for a season, and we're gonna talk about that. And then hey, check out the Courtside View podcast NFL. We're gonna talk about that whole situation with Josh Allen later on. But you don't make that trade because now you just gutted your future. Instead of having a potential contender for the next 10 years, now you have a small window. Yep. You have, I would say, 2 years max. Because AD, you don't know if he's ever going to stay healthy. He's been healthy for the past 2 years, but we don't know if that's going to stick. Kyrie Irving's also a question mark with his durability. He's played a lot of games this year, but you can never count on him, especially when he's in his 30s now. And now now he's the primary ball handler. You get into playoff situations and guys double him. Who are you going to lean to? Anthony Davis, he's not a ball handler like that. He's a big. So now you're going to have problems with that. I think it was the 76ers game where they lost at the buzzer and they double teamed Kyrie Irving. Now, they didn't have AD in that game, but it's just some of the things that you're going to see from the problems that are going to exist for the Mavericks showed itself against the 76ers, where they were doubling him to make sure he doesn't get the last shot. And that's going to be a major problem in the playoffs. Teams are going to do that a lot, especially like an OKC, maybe even Denver. They're going to do that, and it's going to be problematic. And that's why I don't think they're going to make the finals.
Of course not.
I don't think they're the second best team. I don't think they're the first best team. I'm seeing folks I'm seeing Stephen A. I'm seeing other people say, oh, the Mavericks are now the top team in the West. In what world? Do people not understand? People don't understand the value of Luka. I feel like we keep. There's certain times where we just underrate players and how much impact they had for a team. In this instance, it seems like whenever a player gets traded to the Lakers, we tend to undervalue how good they were for that team, that they were on the previous team. Luka was the team. Luka, he was the driving engine of that team. And to take that away, it's going to be a drop off. And for people to just think otherwise, I don't know. You need to get your basketball card taken away. Because they're not better than OKC.
No,
They're not better than Denver.
I still don't think any team is better than OKC in the West.
They're not better than OKC. They're not better than Denver. A legitimate argument can be had. They're the third or fourth best team, but they're not better than those two teams. I'm sorry.